Could Tottenham be about to land Mohammed Kudus this summer? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around a big developing story potentially happening at West Ham in the form of their winger, Mohammed Kudus. Now, what we know about this story already is that Kudus has been attracting a lot of interest in recent times. It does seem likely that he will be moving away from the London Stadium this summer. A move is very much likely on the cards in this transfer window. There have been a lot of speculation surrounding him, a lot of links with moves away. But one link in particular that has been growing in recent days has been that of Tottenham Hotspur. It's being said that Spurs are keeping an eye on Mohammed Kudus and are maybe attempting to step up their interest in the 24-year-old going forward into this summer's transfer window. It's caught the eye of many and it's going to be intriguing to talk about. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to talk about the whole overall Mohammed Kudus situation, the various links to other clubs, and this link in particular. But before we go any further discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both of those are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that comment section, people. Talk to me on this potential transfer story. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there. Can't wait to read all your comments and all your opinions and all of that good stuff. I'm sure I'll wait for great and interesting reading. And without further ado, let's go on with the video ourselves. Let's talk the conversation of Mohammed Kudus and him potentially leaving West Ham this summer and maybe even joining Spurs. So what we know about this Mohammed Kudus situation so far is that he is seemingly open to wanting to leave West Ham, and West Ham are very much open to letting him go. They see him as a star asset that can fetch in a very, very handsome transfer fee. And although it is a big sacrifice to make because he is one of West Ham's better players, they see it as he is an asset that is worth sacrificing for the evolution of the team, for the betterment of the team, in order to reinvest that money in the squad and reinforce it, beef it up, bolster it, whatever kind of lingo you want to use. They see it as a worthwhile sacrifice for the betterment of West Ham United as an overall squad. Like I say, Kudus is very open to leaving as well, and the reports out there are suggesting that West Ham are trying to hold out as best they can for the £85 million release clause that is in his contract. Now, that £85 million release clause is said to be only available to clubs outside of Saudi Arabia. For those clubs inside Saudi Arabia, it's said to be even higher, roughly speaking, about 120 million. That is at least what reports are suggesting. Whether or not there's legitimate truth to that or not remains to be seen, but that does seem to be what everybody is talking about. So West Ham are seemingly holding out for 85 million. But obviously it could be more if a Saudi club does come in for Kudus. And there has been plenty of links, like I say. There's been plenty of stories surrounding Mohammed Kudus and where his footballing future may lie. One of those links has been a certain Tottenham Hotspur. A certain Tottenham Hotspur. Now, what we know about Spurs is that obviously they've been looking for a winger themselves. Mainly a right winger, it seems, but also they've been strangely linked with plenty of left wingers as well. Brian Mbeumo was one of them, but he seemingly has his heart set on joining Manchester United this summer, and therefore that deal seems dead in the water. They've also tried their luck with Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo, but the story there seemingly is, and reportedly is, that the asking price from the Cherries is too much for Tottenham to want to pursue any further. Then there's this link to Mohammed Kudus. Now, it's intriguing, this one, because obviously we know what Kudus is. We know what he represents. And I think he'll be a fantastic signing for whoever gets him. I think he's still young. He's 24 years of age. He's still got a lot of time to grow and get better and evolve his game with that experience, and obviously with the amount of games that he's already played, and obviously being with Ajax and then being with West Ham, he's already Premier League proven. He's got a little bit of an unpredictability factor about him, which I quite like. He's quick, he's very skillful, talented, got good technical ability. Works hard as well. His work rate is brilliant to watch. he's got a lot of good attributes that I think any team that takes him from West Ham's grasp is going to really enjoy watching unfold, further develop, and get even better as a player. But the one attribute that I like about him as well is his versatility. He can play anywhere in the attacking midfield. I think predominantly he's a left-sided player, but he can also play on the right. He can also play through the centre. And I feel like at Spurs, that could be very useful. The one thing I don't quite get, though, is I know Spurs are mainly after a right winger, which is why they tried to go for Mbeumo. And I know that Kudus can play there. But like I say, I think predominantly Kudus is best positioned on the left. There's the signing of Matthias Tell. Why would you sign him on top of another left winger? It doesn't quite make sense to me if that would be the case, which does indicate that maybe he is going to be either in the centre. Is he going to overthrow James Maddison in that position? Potentially. But I don't necessarily see that happening for Thomas Frank, maybe. Or could he be the answer to the right-hand side? And I am looking at him, if I am looking at a Thomas Frank and what he's done at Brentford, I am looking at Kudus to be that kind of Brian Mbeumo type figure with a lot of work right down that right-hand side, but ultimately with a lot of creativity, a lot of consistency, he will make that role his own. He will make that right-wing position his own, and therefore that's where he could really fit in at Spurs. Thing that I'm not entirely convinced by with this story, though, is the way that there are other links to other clubs. And one link in particular, again, that has been very, very strong in recent times has been a potential link to Chelsea. Chelsea are seemingly keeping Kudus on their radar. I know they've just signed Jamie Gittins. I know they've just signed João Pedro, and they've got Liam Delap, and they've got another ton of other player names behind them. But in my opinion, Kudus, like I say, would be a fantastic signing for anybody who does get him. And if Chelsea do pull their finger out and go, you know what, now's the time to strike for Kudus. Now is the time to go out and get him. If they are going to be in a tug of war with Tottenham, I'm sorry to say, Spurs fans, but there is only one winner. And that is Chelsea. We've seen it happen before. Players have chosen Chelsea over Spurs. Easy to see why, easy to think why, we know why, with all due respect. But if that is to happen again, we know exactly where Mohammed Kudus will be going this summer. If it is a tug of war between Chelsea and Spurs. And like I said, I think he'll be a fantastic signing for everyone. What I will say is that there does seem to be a bit of backlash, especially from Chelsea fans, on Mohammed Kudus. They're not exactly too keen or not completely sold on him. And to that I say, this guy's just fallen on a bit of hard times at West Ham. We have barely even scratched the surface, I would imagine, of what talent and quality this man possesses. And like I say, he is 24 years old, so he's still young, he can still grow. But I feel like in a better environment, with a better team, especially a better team around him, this guy can flourish. This guy can blossom into the player that we all sort of knew or know he can become. He's got great technical ability, like I say. He's got excellent work rate. He's got good creativity behind him, good vision, can chip him with a goal or two here and there. I mean, I know his stats aren't exactly great this season. 5 goals, 3 assists in 32 appearances in the Premier League. And overall for West Ham, he has 80 appearances, 19 goals and 13 assists. So it's not like outstanding stats by any stretch of the imagination, but what you've got to consider is that this is a West Ham team that in the past couple of years has fallen off, has been mismanaged in certain ways, and West Ham fans will probably tell you themselves that that has been the case. And I think it has kind of halted the development of this guy. But there's no doubt about it, he's a brilliant talent, a quality player to have, and someone that can grow even better, even bigger in a team and a squad that with all due respect to West Ham, is a step up, is an upgrade. Even with Spurs, because I do feel like Thomas Frank will get the best out of him, and I do feel like Thomas Frank will improve him as a player, because that's just how highly I rate Thomas Frank as a manager and as a coach. So I feel like the step up for Kudus will be good wherever he goes. I'm sure it'll be for the betterment of his career, and I'm sure that whoever gets him will be happy that they've got a quality player in their ranks. And for West Ham as well, like I say, it will fetch in a very decent price tag that they can then reinvest in the squad. They're holding out seemingly for 85 million. That's the release clause, like I mentioned before. There were reports this morning suggesting that Spurs were looking to try and get him below the asking price, the typical sort of Daniel Levy approach, I guess you could say. But Spurs need to move quickly on this. If Spurs are genuinely got their hearts set on Mohammed Kudus, they will need to move quickly on this. And I feel like with Chelsea maybe being a bit preoccupied maybe with Gittins and with Pedro and splashing over 100 million on them, maybe the time to strike for Spurs is now. Maybe whilst they're kind of umming and ahhing about maybe getting some outgoings going out the window at Chelsea, maybe the time to strike for Spurs is now. Like I say, there are a few question marks over certain players, particularly like Heung-min Son, for example. But at the same time, Spurs haven't done anything. Spurs haven't done anything in this transfer window. This could be a huge splash made by Spurs if they were to make this happen. The question is, will Mohammed Kudus cross that London divide, that London rivalry, that London hatred from West Ham to Spurs? That's going to be interesting to see. But yes, this could be a very, very big transfer story for us to keep our eyes upon and to really watch with intrigue and interest as to what the next move of Mohammed Kudus is. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Spurs' pursuit of Mohammed Kudus? Where do you think Mohammed Kudus will end up this summer? Will it be Spurs? Will it be Chelsea? Or will someone else come in and take him off of West Ham's hands? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about this transfer situation down below in the comments section. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, feel free to get involved in all of that good stuff. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see you speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.